There are lots of list actions. Some of them are not made for all lists, but are made specifically for libraries. Document libraries are a more specialized type of list, and some places here in SharePoint Designer, lists and libraries are lumped together. But in this particular list, in the Site Objects list, there's some real clarity about what's a list and what's a library. We've been working with the new position request workflow a fair amount, and it's easy to think of that as having been created as a list. But anytime we publish an InfoPath form to create a list, we're really creating a form library or a type of document library. So we're going to work with our request for new position workflow. See here they're listed as lists, but it's really for a library. And let's go ahead and open and edit that workflow. Because we might want to be in a position where we could actually check something out, make some changes to it, and check it back in. So this is the type of list where we would use those particular actions. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to check the item out to do something with it here. I'm going to add another step that says check out, modify, and check in item, for example. And then we would say that the action that we want to use down in our list items, and if you know you're doing a lot of this, you can click this arrow and just say, show me the list action, so I don't have to scroll while I do this set. Let's go ahead and check out the item. And in this list, check out the current item. Works for me. Then we might want to do some kind of a modification using any of the other actions that we have. And then it's time for us to say we're done with this item and we want to check it back in. So let's say we checked out the item and we had a user working with it, and then they checked it back in, so they're checking it back into the current item, and the comment could be whatever the output of that is. So this item has been sitting with the hiring manager, so the comment might simply be that the hiring manager has reviewed. And this, again, is going to be available, this comment, not in a workflow history. This comment is actually being written into the versioning on this particular document. So when somebody goes and looks at the history of the document being checked in and checked back out, they'll actually see this comment, that this item was checked out, that something was done. We might, if we were doing something programmatically here, we were actually going in and saying, well, I'm going to change a value in this item. I'm going to edit one of its values. And it doesn't take that long. This is another great place for us actually to insert that pause for duration for that 5 minutes, because a checkout followed by a really quick check-in can create some problems for us. The other possibility is that we didn't want to check it in at all, that the action that we actually wanted to do here was the action of discarding the checkout. So if we discard the checkout, that would look like this, and we would say discard the checkout of the current item. Now in this particular case, that discard would never happen because the item would be checked back in. One of the things that check-in and check-out does is actually make sure that the appropriate state is there before it tries to run. So if the item is already checked out, you won't be allowed to check it out. If it's not checked out, you can't check it back in or discard it. So that's how these three list conditions, check item in, check out item, and discard checkout, all work so that you can make changes to an item and make sure that no one else is making changes to the same item while you're trying to modify it.